add myself to the show. You know what? I'm checking out. Happy Happy Wednesday, everyone. Day before NFL Week 3. Thank you for joining Football Beer. That is why Dave and I are here tonight. Gosh, good to see you again, Dave. It looks like you're in a new location. You're not on the other side of the room from me tonight.
I am in my new apartment in downtown Phoenix. So I'm in the office room, which does not have any of the great background setup like yours does. I'll have to get some footballs in here, a flag, maybe a big TV, also a helmet. Some of those things. I'll have to redo my background, but have to wait till my shipping pods get here on the 29th until I have all of the things that all of our football beer, that's why we are here, viewers have seen in the past when I was in my California home. So I'll be creating my background here in the next couple of shows or so. So yeah, new location, downtown Phoenix, Arizona.
Awesome. Well, welcome. I kind of wish that our first home game when you were here would have turned out different, but hey, we'll definitely get into that. And this is actually the first time I built this office. I don't know, 6 9 months ago or whatever it was, and I built this little cove for all my sports gear, and I was there. Golf. Oh, wait, golf clubs is all backwards, and still got some stuff to do. But this is the first time I actually get to use it on camera, so it's kind of nice to be back in here. First time my sports and drafts set. I actually have to. I'm standing up, so I got my desk raised up,
Oh,
so I can kind of get some of that. The helmet and stuff on the top shelf doesn't get it very well. Um, anyway, thank you for everyone for joining us tonight. We've had two very interesting weeks of football so far this season. I don't think that anything has really gone the way we thought it would, and for some teams. And I'm talking to you, San Diego, and it's just kind of what's going on out there, But yeah, just totally interesting. I know you came over and a friend came over, of course Whitney and a friend came over. We hung out in the pool, watched football outside on the TV in the afternoon. Obviously, a huge ass upset, by my hometown team here, the Arizona Cardinals. Yours now, just not your team, but I actually like the Cardinals. So, but what a second half meltdown, by the Arizona Cardinals this week against the New York Giants. They'd held them to basically the half. The Giants have been outscored 60-0, and had a 3 touchdown lead in the third quarter, and just kind of decided not to play football. I mean, play prevent. I went back and watched some highlights, and just there was just too much running. Yeah, it's like, hey, it's halfway through the third quarter. Let's start running out the clock. I mean, it's just, hey, here Connor, here Connor, here Connor, here Connor, and then, oh, look, we're punting, touchdown. Here Connor, here Connor. Oh, now we got 3rd and 10. Pass that for nothing. I mean, just stupid play in the second half this week. You have any? I'm sorry. I'm just starting off on a whole different on a whole tangent tonight. So, anything you want to add about that, or any other game that you saw this weekend?
Oh yeah, that was just so disappointing. What was it? It was the biggest comeback the Giants had had since like the 1940s or something like that. I mean, the Cardinals played such a great first half. We were pretty excited, even though, like you said, I'm not a Cardinal fan, but I'm going to root for them more than I'm going to root for the Giants. So I was like, oh, they look pretty good this week. Like maybe this Dobbs kid has something. The defense gets after the quarterback. They apply good pressure, and all that was looking good. And then Barkley even got hurt and went out. So it's like, oh, how are they even going to come back? They don't even have their best player, and they still did it. So yeah, it was just disappointing to see a team that really needs wins. I mean, that you thought they had one in the bag the first half, but that's why you play four
Yeah.
quarters and not two. They got to learn how to finish, and what a bigger lesson than what they got this past weekend of we need to finish games and figure out how to finish games better, because you can't let those type of games slip away in the NFL where you're getting a check in the loss column now when you really thought you had one in the win column, especially at home opener. It would have been great for the fans, and now really what's your fan base think of you? I mean, first home, oh great, we suck again.
No, we suck again. Rob Schneider.
Exactly. And
We suck again.
it's just like, oh man, like we couldn't even win a game we thought we had in the bag, and so that's just a real bad taste in all your fans' mouths. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is, and and it doesn't get any easier from here for them, and which we'll get into. But so, what do you think? I mean, I think one of the other things that really stands out so far, just through the first couple of weeks, are the all the injuries. I mean, there are season-ending injuries to some marquee players. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, and then Monday Nick Chubb. I mean, we've got Dobbins out. We've got some season-ending injuries to some key players for each team. To some of the teams. Barkley, I have no idea what the extent of his injuries are, but yeah, I mean, you know, I'll tell you what, the hit on Chubb was gruesome, and Monday that was hard to watch. That goes
They,
back to almost the Joe Theismann days,
they
but
wouldn't even
no
show it.
bone exposed. Yeah,
Yeah, they wouldn't replay it when I was watching it on whatever channel I had it on. Yeah, the announcers, I think, is it Troy? Was it Troy? And I think
or
it's
Joe
Troy.
Buck, either Joe Buck or
Joe Buck and
I think.
Troy. But yeah, I mean, I think Troy just basically he goes, "Oh yeah, they just showed this to the fans in the stadium, and we're not going to show this." And you could hear the audible of the fans just, "Oh,"
Yeah.
just you could tell it was gruesome. And he goes, "Yeah, we're not going to replay this on the air for you to see." He goes, "It's as bad as you would see something." So I mean,
Yeah.
it's a killer for him. It's a killer for that team. He's such a big part of that offense. And now you're going to have Deshaun Watson having to put basically everything on his shoulders for that Browns team.
Well, they brought back Kareem Hunt on a 1 year, $4 million deal, and to kind of play number two. But I don't know if it'll take him long to be number one. I mean, he knows the system, so he'll be playing this Weekend. I think I actually might have picked him up today. I have a horrible bench, um, and I needed some running backs. I might have actually picked him up today, and in fantasy. So anyway, yeah. So we just kind of been sipping away. We wouldn't be football and beer without the beer. And this week I bought it over the weekend for game weekend, a 12 pack of mixed. It's football, which means it's fall. Might be a little bit ahead of October, but yeah, I got this Sam Adams mix pack thing, and one of them in there was the Sam Adams Jack O' Lantern, the perfect fall beer, and this actually, Sam Adams puts out a lot of interesting brews, and one of them was flannel, I think, in that 12 pack, and it tasted like leather. It was or something flannel. I don't.
Like
It was like,
flannel.
yeah, it was like, huh. What kind of flavoring you put in these things, um, but yeah. So this it's a nice dark golden brown. And it tastes like freaking pumpkin. There's a lot of beers out there that tout, oh yeah, Jack o' lantern, pumpkin, whatever, whatever, whatever. It's got a definite, absolute strong pumpkin flavor to it. That's like, you know what? This is fall, and so when they put on the back of the bottle there, the perfect fall beer, it's true. So yeah, so it's Sam Adams Jack o' lantern pumpkin ale tonight for me. How about you?
Nice. Well, I got my 49ers on Thursday night football tomorrow night, so I wanted something color scheme. So I got this kind of red colored beer here, and it's Arizona beer I picked up. I went to Total Wine and I grabbed a handful of beers for the next few shows. And this one is called a Razzle Dazzle Raspberry Ale. It's got this cool monkey on it,
Oh wow.
and it's by the Sonoran Brewing Company, also with the Phoenix Beer Company. It's a 4.7. It's real creamy. It does have a really good raspberry flavor, but it doesn't have any sort of bitterness or bite to it. It actually tastes like a raspberry cream ale,
Hmm.
um, kind of like how a orange sickle would taste, I guess. That orange creamsicle type flavor. It's like that, but raspberry flavor. Oh, I just lost Chuck, but it's pretty good. I think I'd get it again. Like I said, 4.7, not too heavy. So
Well, very good. Uh, all right, so we've talked about the injuries. I talked about the letdown of the Cardinals. So, what was your game of the week this week?
my game of the week this week was Washington Denver. So that was a game I hated. If you watched the show last week, I said I hate these teams. I hate this game. Someone's got to win it. I don't care about this game, but it actually turned out to be a very good game. Russell Wilson was kind of putting up a stinker performance, as were the Broncos. Washington basically was kind of dominant in a lot of this game, it seemed like. And I believe Russell hit a kid for 50-yard touchdown near the end of the game to put them within two. So they needed a 2-point conversion to tie the game at the very end of the game. It's like 3 seconds left. And he couldn't do it. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't convert the 2-point conversion. And Washington ended up winning by 2 points. So just that ending, just that game being that close and coming down to a 2-point conversion at the end of the game made it my game of the week.
Yeah, no, that definitely was a good game. We were watching that, and it was, I mean, it was Russell. Actually, one of the things when Russell was in Seattle, he could always find his way out of trouble. Moving around the pocket, getting outside. He doesn't seem to have that same ability in Denver. Whether it's the O line, whether it's him, he just doesn't seem to have that same ability, or even really that. Almost when you see him, it just does. I don't know that he has that motivation in him right now, and I don't know if some things are going on in the locker room that are kind of already heard the coach thinks about things. So yeah, it's an interesting situation there in Denver with the Russell, but hey, good win for the Redskins there, and um, yeah, they're looking pretty. They're 2-0, so I'm sure a lot of people probably didn't think they were going to be 2-0 to start the season. So we'll see how this week goes. For me, it was like the 49ers and the Rams. And, a couple of NFC teams. I've been a long time Rams fan before I became a Cardinals fan. This game, I think for the Rams, I think the Rams really needed this game and to show that they were back. And because they had after winning the Super Bowl, just had a miserable season last year. I mean, even before Stafford got hurt, they sucked, and they were just in horrible shape last year. And so I think they needed to really bounce back, and this, to be able to beat the 49ers, would have been a big accomplishment. I mean, obviously, it's a big test, for the Rams, and they couldn't pull it off. So kudos to the 49ers for showing that, hey, we're real. It wasn't a 1 year fluke with Purdy and everyone. McCaffrey's running strong. I mean, he's picked up, just continuing to do what he does even from week one. So a lot of good things happening there in San Francisco. And so for me, just looking at the matchups, thinking this team really needs this win desperately to prove that they're a contender. And basically a team that has they were within a touchdown of a team that could go to the Super Bowl this year, but couldn't pull it off. So who was your offensive player of the week?
My offensive player of the week was a player who lost the game, actually. And it was everybody's favorite gentleman, Kirk Cousins from Minnesota. Threw for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. Nobody else threw for more touchdowns. He put points on the board. His defense just needed to tighten up and be there for him, because he did about everything he could do to help that team win. He had the best stats of any quarterback basically for the week. Defense just couldn't get stopped. So he was my offensive player of the week. How about you?
Uh, you know, I'm not I actually just yeah. I was just gonna have fun. I didn't have time to pull down the video. I was gonna say my offensive player of the week was the official in the Seahawks game that was announcing the penalty when Geno Smith walked up to him and he says, "Excuse me, I'm talking to America." And and just kind of pushes him out over to the side and continues on. I thought, you know what, that was quick thinking, being offensive, not defense. So but realistically, it's the same guy I picked last week, and I'm not trying to be a fanboy here or anything. But simply, last week I picked Baker Mayfield. He didn't have a big day, 174 yards, but like I said, he came in, fill in for Tom Brady, fill Tom Brady's shoes, got a win, and did what he needed to. But this week he had actually over 300 yards, 317 yards, a touchdown, 26 for 34. So pretty good for a completion percentage. So the guy's looking solid there in Tampa Bay. So for me, it was just really kind of once again him. And again, I'm not trying to be a fanboy. He's kind of bounced around the last year, so looks like maybe he's found a home there. Defense, I actually didn't pick anyone out for defense, so I'm just going to default to you. Who you picked for defensive player of the week?
Yeah, I took linebacker Highsmith out of Pittsburgh last night. They won by 4 points, and he ended up getting a pick six. So that's 6 points. Good big difference in the game when you get defensive points, and it sure helped the Steelers win that game on Monday night, getting that pick six because only winning by 4. That was a huge defensive touchdown. And big win, big division win for Pittsburgh. Keeps them at 2-0. So I picked him for my defensive player of the year, especially for an offensive team that was struggling in the Steelers. So they're going to need points like that from the defense or special teams to help them out sometimes. They did that Monday night.
Nice. What about your coaching hot seat of the week?
Mine's the same. LA Chargers, Staley. Once again, he loses again. Another close game, another chance where they had the ball. Later in the fourth quarter, couldn't get a drive together to go down and get points. It's deja vu from week one. And they're too good of a team, too much talent to do that. 2 weeks in a row, highest paid quarterback in the league. You can't lose 2 close games in a row with the highest paid player in the league. It's not a good look.
No, it's not. And Justin had another great day. He did his job, and I'm with you this week. And I might have jumped on my home team who's an underdog in every game this season, but I might have jumped on my home team for giving up the 3 touchdown lead in the second half. But honestly, for who should be a Super Bowl contender this year, that's got the talent. They had the talent last year, and to do better than they did in the playoffs. This is an embarrassment. It's Wednesday. It wouldn't have shocked me to say Staley's gone. We can't be playing like this. This is not acceptable to the organization or our fans. And yeah, dude's. I honestly gotta believe if he loses this week, done. If and if you're a Chargers fan, you should be in an uproar. Hitting social media, hitting their email accounts, whatever, letting them know that this is just absolutely unacceptable. They have defensive talent. They have the talent, and they're not playing to the level of talent that they have. It's like they're trying to think they're on cruise control. Hey, let's go out and do what we do. Let's just go out and do, and really not adapting to the game, and or being prepared for. You look at what the Dolphins did to them at the end of the game. With their bull rushes and blitzes, and they weren't prepared for any of that. Dolphins did it again this week, and it worked. So you would think even this week that teams would be prepared for that kind of stuff. But is what it is. But yeah, I agree with you. Staley is definitely on the hot seat this week, above any other coach. Awesome. All right, so before we get into our picks here, we do kind of need to review a little bit of information. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so this week I won 9 games. You won 7, and so that's 2 weeks in a row. If we look down the stats there, it looks like I've won 2 weeks, and you haven't yet won one. Come on, Dave. Um, and
Starting off
but
good.
yeah, so I went 9-7. You went 7-9, just kind of the opposite. So yeah, it's looked like about a 3-game lead on you on the total for the season, but you'll pick it up. And yeah, but again, it's just been well. I think we said it last year. Our picks last year were not good. I mean, I think we were both looking at losing weeks. I mean, I just didn't lose as many games, but
Yeah.
we were horrible last year, and so it just goes to show you that's like you said earlier, is why they play 4 quarters, and because no one ever knows if we were really that good, we'd be picking this stuff in Vegas.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing any parlays, that's for sure. Maybe single games, but I don't think I'll be running any parlays in Vegas anytime soon with my track record the last year and 2 weeks.
Oh, so all right. Well, hey, we got some football games to pick for this week. You kind of already mentioned it earlier, but tomorrow night your guys play the guys that just seem to all of a sudden show up in the second half, quarter and a half of their last game. But the Giants are going on the road once again. They were here in Phoenix, so probably did not go back home this week since they were already here pretty much, close to the West Coast here in the Southwest. Probably stayed on over here enjoying the nice warm weather, and going to be playing your 49ers in San Francisco there. Your boys are favored by 10 at home. It's your team. I'm going to let you pick first here.
Oh yeah, I've got to take my guys. 10, you got no Barkley for the Giants anymore. This is television game at home, first home game. High expectations for this team. Purdy gets the ball out quick. Everything we do is quick, so I don't think the Giants' defensive line is going to be much of a factor. Everything we run is pretty fast off the line of scrimmage. So the way McCaffrey's had 200-yard rushing games in a row plus, he's had a touchdown rushing in each game so far. So I think this could be a statement game on national TV where we could come out. I think our defense is going to play real well against Daniel Jones, especially with no Barkley in the backfield. We can really key on him and force him into some errors and some turnovers. So definitely take my Niners.
Uh, you know, 10 points is a lot, and oh, yeah. I'm gonna put the loss on the Cardinals more than how the Giants played. I'll take the 49ers at home by 10. Obviously, you're a much better team than the Cardinals, but the Cardinals' defense is not bad, and they got after the Giants last week in the first half. Well, honestly, yeah. If the Cardinals played the same as they did in the first half, they'd have won by 30 points. So this should be an easy 10 points for you guys. All right. So getting off out of Thursday into our Sunday lineup, Titans are visiting the Browns. The Browns obviously now without Nick Chubb for the rest of the season. And, who knows about his return. Titans come off beating the freaking not San Diego, LA Chargers last week in an embarrassment for the Chargers. Browns are at home. Kareem Hunt just brought on to be the number 2. Man, this is I have no idea who's going to win. I have no idea, and it's a field goal. I don't want to take the Titans. But I think I got to take the Titans. I don't want to take them, but I got to take the Titans here.
Yeah, this was a tough one when I looked at it because I was like, is Nick Chubb like the lines makers, like, does he not matter that much? I mean, the Titans just beat a pretty good team. The Browns lost to the Steelers. I mean, they didn't win, and so it's just like, oh, man, do they have that much confidence in Deshaun Watson? Did they forget that Derrick Henry plays for the Titans? But the Browns have a pretty good defensive line. They have a pretty good defense. Um, but yeah, just after seeing the Titans beat um, the Chargers and the Browns lose, I have to take the Titans. I mean, I don't like Tannehill, but he was good enough to get by the Chargers. So, and he's got Hopkins there now, who had a couple catches on their big possession, their last possession to clinch winning that game. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Titans with you too. I don't have a lot of confidence in the Browns right now, especially with their best offensive player out for this season.
Yeah, yeah, and again, Deshaun Watson isn't lighting it up like he was brought in to do. So, yeah. So, hey, Jim and City, thanks for joining the show. Always glad you guys are here, as usual. So, but thank you guys, and yeah, if you have a pick, throw it in the comments. All right. Next game, we have the Falcons. The 2-0 Falcons going on the road to play the Lions, the 1-1 Lions. The Lions at home are favored by 3. And, who would have thought I never would have thought the Falcons would be 2-0 at this point. But who you got here?
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions. I'm going Lions at home. Fans are up. I know they lost to Seattle. I didn't see that coming. That was a good game, though. That was a really close game. Good game. I think the Lions get the Falcons at home.
Yeah, I do too. I really thought the Lions would have won last week. I just thought Dan Campbell has this team prepared this year. It was a tough battle, but last week. But yeah, I mean, the run can't last for the Falcons, or can it? I'm taking the Lions at home by 3. It's only 3. These are some really close spreads, except for that 49ers game so far. All right, Saints going on the road to the not yet frozen tundra in Green Bay to play the Packers. Packers are favored at home by 2. Oh man, the Packers just did not impress me last week. I'm going to take the Saints. You kind of froze that. You're frozen there, but now you're back. I'm actually going to take the Saints here in this game.
Yeah, the Saints are 2-0. Carr's figuring out a way to get wins, and Love's still a young quarterback. Packers are at home, so Packer fans are going to be pumped up for this. I think they feel like they can win the game, but normally, if Las Vegas believes in you, you get 3 points when you're at home. They only got 2 points. So this isn't a full, hey, we really think the Packers are going to win the home field advantage in a close one. So for that reason, I think the odds makers know a little bit of something that we don't know. So I'm saying the Saints also, because they have that veteran quarterback, that veteran leadership in a close game, and that might come in real handy.
Nice, yeah. Jim also says the Saints. He's on board with that. So, yeah, all right. Broncos, Dolphins. Broncos are leaving the Mile High City, going down to Florida and the humidity down there. Dolphins are favored by 6.5 at home. Why this isn't like 50 points at home, I have no idea. You're up first, but I think you know what I'm going to pick. So where are you at with this?
Yeah, I hate the Broncos. Dolphins easy.
Yeah.
I see a huge game again for Tyreek Hill. He didn't have as big of one last week, but I see this one. I see him picking up kind of closer, not as big as week 1, but closer. But I'll pick the Dolphins for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and the defense of the Dolphins is really bringing it. They've shown some stuff against the last couple of teams they've played, and with their blitz packages, and they're going to be very aggressive. And Russell's going to struggle. This is going to be this could be a big embarrassment. Jim's actually going with the Broncos, and you know, yeah, somebody's got to pick the Broncos, right? Um, but yeah, so I'm with you. Like I said, I'm taking the Dolphins 6.5 at home. Chargers Vikings. Uh, so LA is going to Minnesota, playing US Bank Stadium, and I'm not gonna lie. I gotta ask, what is PK?
It's pick'em. So when I looked up the lines, there was a lot of them that was like Chargers favored by one, Vikings favored by one, Chargers by a half a point, Vikings by a half a point. So since like all the different lines I saw were just really close and little, I just split the difference. And so this is a pick'em game. Really, it's an even line. So it's who's going to win.
I, I have to take the Chargers. I gotta ride it. I gotta ride it. Um, maybe until they're 0-4, then I'll jump off the bandwagon. But I gotta ride it. Chargers.
I'm gonna go Vikings, and the reason I'm gonna go Vikings is because Cousins been throwing for a ton of yards, and if we saw Week 1 with the Chargers, Tyreek Hill went crazy on the Chargers so much that in first week they took out their starting cornerback who was covering Tyreek Hill, which didn't matter because then he still kept killing the second guy that came in to cover him. And now you're playing the Vikings and Justin Jefferson, who is maybe 1A or 1B to Tyreek Hill as the best receiver in the NFL. So I just feel like if they can't cover Tyreek, they're not going to be able to cover Justin either. And I just have no confidence in the Chargers coaching staff right now and winning games. So I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Yeah, Jim's with the Chargers. Just likes them better. And
Yeah, I do too, but I just man, they're a disappointment right now.
yeah, they really are. So, and again, if they lose this week, it's almost got to be put the hook on the coach, and drag him off stage. All right, so Patriots, going on the going to New York. Don't have too far to go, but Patriots are favored by 2.5 on the road. I I don't know who picked the last one, but I'll just jump out there and say I'll take the Patriots on the road. The Jets are so disappointing, and the Patriots aren't that good, but I'm taking the Patriots on the road.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots too. They haven't played terrible this year. I mean, they haven't got the result they wanted, I think, both weeks, but they haven't played bad. Um, and just, I can't trust Wilson and the Jets yet. I just can't trust that young quarterback yet, especially against a defensive minded Belichick. Look for Matthew Judon to get pressure on him a lot, the D end outside linebacker for Patriots. And he's going to make some mistakes. So go on Patriots also.
Yeah, Jim had the Jets. Jim is on the man. Jim could be looking really good this week. If he wins a lot of these picks, he's kind of opposite of where we are. All right, so the Bills visiting the Washington Commanders. Bills are favored on the road by 6.5. I mean, the Commanders are 2-0, and they played the Cardinals, week 1, and the Bronco. I mean, it's like, have they really played anyone a quality team yet? No, they haven't. They will this week. The Commanders are 2-0. Bills are 1-1. Who you got here?
So the Bills had a rough first week. They put up a stinker in week 1, but then they came out in week 2 at home and they crushed the Raiders, who the Raiders had a pretty good week 1 game. If I was going to say Raiders against Commanders, that would probably be a close game. So the fact that they beat the Raiders by 20 and this is 6.5 and they're not traveling that far, I think, yeah, the Commanders have played the Broncos and the Cardinals. I think they're going to really be woken up by playing the Bills, and I see the Bills covered by 6.5. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, I think they kind of maybe found their groove, shook off the cobwebs from week 1, that loss. Winning 38-10 in week 2 kind of showed some dominance, and Uh, yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills 6.5 on the road as well. They're just a much better team. Not really take anything away from the Commanders, but it is a touchdown. I mean, 6.5 is it's a touchdown. I mean, anyone can win by a touchdown, and so yeah, definitely gonna take the Bills here. All right, Texans Jaguars. So the Texans are going to go visit the Jaguars. Jaguars are favored by 9.5. 9.5 at home. That is just crazy. I that's that's just crazy. I think I don't know. I gotta. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at something here. I'm taking the Texans on the road. I'm taking the Texans to not lose by 9.5 points. I just think that's too big a spread.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too when I saw it. Because C.J. Stroud, the quarterback for the Texans, isn't playing bad as a rookie. He's played pretty well his first two NFL regular season starts. Nico Collins' receivers had over 100 yards receiving. They moved the ball pretty well. They're scoring some points. The Jaguars did make the playoffs last year, but they're still young. And yeah, 9.5. That was my same thing. I think the Jaguars are going to win. I don't want to give them 9.5 though, because Houston hasn't been awful. They haven't been terrible. So I'm just saying, I think the Jaguars will win, but I think the Texans can keep it within 9.5.
Well, yeah, and it's like Jim said, Jags, but the Texans can surprise us, and that's what they did last year. I mean, they're just not consistent, but they did that last year. They won games, were in games, leading games that they shouldn't have been, and they surprised people, and then just kind of either
Their
end up
defense isn't
losing or
awful.
yeah, yeah. So, all right, Colts gonna go visit the Ravens in Baltimore. Ravens are actually favored by 8 at home. Yeah, who you got here?
This was a tough one for me because the Colts have played fairly well. They even threw Gardner Minshew in there at the end of the game last week because their rookie quarterback got hurt, and he ended up coming in and playing pretty well and winning the game for them. So the Colts won last week. The Ravens, this is kind of the same. Like the Colts defensive line's pretty good. They get after the quarterback. You got DeForest Buckner that's already had a defensive touchdown this season. Um, Lamar's just back. I saw that Odell Beckham Jr. is questionable. Their starting running back is out. So are they really an 8-point favorite over a team that's 1-1 that has a pretty good defensive line? And you got Garner, who that guy's got pizzazz. I'll tell you that much. So if he has to start or whatever, you're gonna get a gamer. He's a gamer. And I think I'm going to take the Colts I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm going to take them on the spread right now of 8.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. The Ravens are, they're 2-0. They're at home. They are without their starting running back. I'm going to take the Ravens. I think they'll cover the 8, and uh, I like all of your points. I just think that the Ravens will cover the 8 at home, and
I needed to
I
try
got
to find a game I could pick up on you too.
right. Yeah, that's kind of part of it too. I was like, well, I need maybe I can try to get a little more separation.
Yeah.
Got to keep it separated.
Yeah.
And Jim's got the Ravens also. And all right, so moving right along, Panthers Seahawks. Seahawks with a tough win last week, playing the Panthers. They're at home. The 12th man will be in play in Seattle. They're favored by 5.5 at home. Uh, I don't even know who plays for the Panthers. I'm taking the Seahawks at home by 5.5.
Oh yeah, I'm going with my wife. Seahawks, friends, family. They'll all be happy. They're at home. They got a great win against the Lions. So yeah, gonna take the Seahawks at home by a touchdown over the Panthers.
Yeah, I think finally Jim is on board with this, and when we all agree. So Seahawks all the way. All right, Bears Chiefs. Bears Chiefs. Chiefs biggest spread of the week, I think, just by half a point. Uh, Chiefs favored at home by 12 and a half. That's an embarrassing line if you are the Bears. Uh, you know what? And with the receiving core the Chiefs have, it's I this is a tough one. Um, yeah, who do you got here?
Taking the Chiefs. Chiefs at home. You got Mahomes magic. You got that crowd. Jones came back after his 1 week, layoff and had I think 1.5 sacks in his first game back after he signed his contract. So the defense played much better the second week. They got pumped up. They held a team to under 10. So what are they going to hold the Bears to? Under 6? They're awful. The Bears are just terrible. It's terrible football to watch the Bears the first 2 weeks. It's hard to watch. And it's the same as last year. It's just Justin Fields running around for his life. The defense is inconsistent. Even though they got some good linebackers, the linebackers are having to make every tackle. And they're not getting pressure on quarterbacks. So Mahomes could carve them up with me and you playing wide receiver. Um, there's just there's not going to be any pressure on him. He's going to do whatever he wants. So I could see this being a huge blowout at home for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Jim's is yep, Chiefs favorite quarterback. Um, I just 12 and a half points is a lot. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. I don't. I on. Yeah, the Bear. If I felt the Bears' defense was better, even if the offense absolutely sucks. If I thought the Bears' defense was stout enough, I'd definitely take the Bears here to not lose by 12 and a half. But they're just not playing good football in Chicago right now. And Jim's kind of a Bears fan also, so he recognizes what's going on when he's going to take the Chiefs and his favorite quarterback, I guess now. So yeah, I'll take the Chiefs at home, 12 and a half. Oh, that's a tough one. All right, second biggest spread of the week. I will be at this game here at State Farm Stadium to see the Cowboys whoop up on my Arizona Cardinals. Uh, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Cardinals not to lose by 12. Just because I think the Cardinals defense isn't actually that bad. Cowboys are playing good football. Don't get excited, Cowboy fans. You'll blow it. The end of the season, first round of the playoffs. Don't worry about it. You're gonna blow it. But right now, the Cowboys are playing really good football. I'm gonna take the Cardinals not to lose by 12. I will be there cheering, so that's gonna make a difference in this game. And the fans will hear, the players will hear, myself and our tailgate crew. We will be strong and loud, and the Cardinals will lose by 11, not 12.
Yeah, you better have a lot of beers ready. I'm taking the Cowboys to basically destroy you guys. Micah Parsons might make 30 tackles. Um, he's faster than your wide receivers, I think, except for Hollywood. Um, but yeah, Cowboys are on a roll. I hate the Cowboys, but their defense is playing so well that I can't see them slow down right now. And Prescott's playing pretty well with CD Lamb. You got Pollard scoring touchdowns and doing pretty well. And if the Giants can come back in the second half to beat them like that, the Cowboys might be up by 20 by halftime. So um, I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Okay. All right. Well, that gets us through the Sunday afternoon game. So Sunday night, tomorrow night, Steelers, Raiders. Oh, two tough sounding teams. They're not tough teams right now. Steelers, Raiders. Um, Raiders, at home in Las Vegas. I think watch something. The most expensive NFL ticket in the league is in Las Vegas. It averages like $500 a ticket or some crazy crap like that. Um, anyway, their favorite home by a point and a half over the Steelers. Who you got here?
Taking the Steelers. Steelers have won their game so far this year. The Raiders, partially because T.J. Watt. I mean, Garoppolo's not going to be running around. He's not. He's not mobile. He's not moving, and Watt's going to push that pocket and make Garoppolo make some decisions. Um, Raiders lost by 20 last week. It's never a home field advantage for the Raiders because it's Las Vegas. So every away team, just like Arizona, just like the LA teams, probably maybe even some of the Florida teams, all these away teams travel very well when you're in a fun, hot, warm environment in the country. So I'm sure there's going to be a million Steelers fans at this game, and it won't feel like a home game for the Raiders anyway. It is only 1.5, but I'll take the Steelers, even though their offense is really struggling. I think they can get enough done, and Tomlin can get enough done to beat this Raiders team.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with Jim. Steelers, of course. Watts is going to kill him. Yeah, I'm with you. It's a point and a half, and if it was over three, I might question a little bit, but uh, yeah, point and a half over the Raiders. I mean, on paper, the Raiders still aren't a bad team. I don't know why they're struggling like they are. Yeah, I'll take the Steelers. All right, Monday night. Got two games on Monday. Set up to be better than last week's. Like, horrible. I mean, at least you could have put one good game this week on Monday. Anyway, Eagles going to visit down to Tampa Bay to play my player of the week 2 weeks in a row. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Godwin. They still got a good team down there in Tampa Bay. Eagles are favored by 5, and I think I picked the Eagle. No, I picked the Chargers to win Super Bowl. Eagles go far, but you know what? They're not going to go far enough this week. I'm taking the Bucks at home.
Yeah, you like the Bucks this year. You like that Baker Mayfield. Um, they are at home. Eagles not playing as good as they did. They have a Super Bowl loss slump like some of these teams. They lose the Super Bowl. They're never the same. Not the same coming back. Um, but just because I might be able to pick up a game on you, I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles in this one. Um, just to see if I can, yeah, basically just to see if I can pick up a game on you on this one.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to go. And again, I'm actually an Eagles fan this year, and want to see them do well. I just think this is I think it's a tough game for them, and I think this is going to be the game of the week for me to watch. And yeah, so all right, last game Monday night. Also, Rams Bengals. Bengals are at home. Bengals looking like crap. Rams are playing mediocre football right now. Who you got here?
Man, I really want to take the Bengals. I don't know why they're playing so terrible at the start of the season. I mean, they've been such a good team the last few seasons. The Rams with Stafford back, they really were in that game, right, with the 49ers for a lot of that game till the end. I mean, they really were. And he threw 15, I think, passes to some rookie wide receiver I've never heard of. Set like a new record for a couple
Nuaka.
weeks for a rookie. So they moved the ball. They put up more than 20 points on the 49er D. But I feel like the Bengals need to get their stuff together. I feel like they can get their stuff together. And since this is at home and it's only 2.5 and a field goal could cover at home, I think I'm going to take the Bengals at home to cover.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals at home as well. it's kind of like I'm just riding this Charger thing. They gotta wake up and start playing football like they know how and capable of. And look at the roster. I'm still thinking the believing the Bengals are a better team. But Jim's got the Rams. They're about due to really play some football. Um, yeah, I didn't play bad again. Didn't play bad last week, but yeah, I'm taking the Bengals at home. Uh, yeah, 2.5. So that's definitely doable. I was gonna open my phone here. I meant to mention it earlier. One of our viewers, Nathan, he sent me some images. I thought you might like this. He, I guess, picked up or ordered some football cards, some graded football cards, and he's got one here of your Brock Purdy
Oh
graded.
wow!
That's a
Look at that.
that's a graded card in its case, and
Mm.
and he's got an Anthony picked up a signed Anthony Richardson. Um, I think I can scroll.
Cards are making a comeback for value again. They're becoming a collectible again.
I got Johnny signed Johnny Manziel, Chase Brown signed Chase Brown, New York Jet. Who is this guy? Running back. Israel Abakananda. Sorry, don't know. Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Sean Tucker, and Joe Thomas. Got some. But yeah, he sent me a message last week, and that he picked these up. So yeah, no, yeah, cards are agreed making a um, kind of a comeback there. Nice collector thing. Um, we all have to have a good vice to have. Jim, by the way, is taking the 49ers tomorrow. Of course you are. So anyway, all right. So, what game are you looking forward to watching this week?
Let's see, my game of the week. Probably the Chargers Vikings. I really need to see the Chargers step up and play well, and this is a good test for them. It's against a team that, like I said, it's similar to I think to Miami. You have a you have a receiver that can get down the field and make big plays, just like Tyreek. And so, can they make that adjustment of not allowing this guy to have a couple touchdowns and 200 yards like they did Tyreek? Did they learn their lesson from week one? Now going against another big time receiver, or are they going to fail again? So I'm really interested to see that.
Yeah, I think I already mentioned mine's the Eagles Bucks Monday, and I think that's just going to be kind of a litmus test to see who's ready to take that serious step towards being a contender, throughout the year. And I think if the Bucks can pull off a win, they could actually be a contender because I don't think anyone had even considered them in the scope of things. I mean, there's a lot. I think you're right. The Eagles aren't playing their best football, and there's a lot of good teams out there that are. But yeah, so for me, yeah, it's the Eagles Bucks. So all right, man. Any last thoughts? Any last thing? Oh yeah,
No,
you're
I
oh
just
you're down.
I had to
I gotta
go
catch up.
because, like I said, I don't have shipping pods, so I have no cups or glasses from my previous home in California. So this is a 99 cent only plastic beer mug that I found today when I was buying a trash can for my office that I didn't have, and it worked. It worked wonderfully for this razzle dazzle.
I hadn't even heard of that one yet,
Razzle
and
dazzle.
I feel like I've seen all the Arizona beers. Um, that's a you always find the most interesting cans.
Yeah, Sonoran Brewery, also the Phoenix Beer Company. So
The
pretty good.
collaboration then.
I'd get this again. It was a real easy drinker, real tasty, real good.
What's funny is that, like I said, the Sam Adams. It's just pretty stock standard. Anyone can go out in America and buy this beer, this pumpkin ale. It's not bad. It's super smooth. I mean, if you're good with the pumpkin flavor, it's actually quite smooth. I would actually drink that. Not a bunch of them, but I need to change up the flavor profile, but I'll have to check out yours as well. So
So I'll have to suggest to you. I got my wife Whitney a Four Peaks. Is that what it is?
yeah,
Four Peaks pumpkin ale tonight too, and she drank it. I'm not a fan really of pumpkin beers, but she is. So I got her the Four Peaks. So maybe you'll have to try that one and compare and let me know what you think.
yeah, I actually haven't had that. Haven't had that one. So, um, and Four Peaks has got a lot of flavors going around here. A local brewery, they're everywhere. They're on tap everywhere. Especially Kilt Lifter and Amber Ale. So, all right, folks. Well, that's it. Football beer. That's why we're here. Week 3 picks are in the books. So, or week 3 picks are, yes, I said that right, are in the books. So, on behalf of Dave and myself, have a fantastic football week, and we will see you back here next Wednesday, 7 p.m. and on the West Coast. That is. And so, yeah, we'll see you all then. Have a fantastic evening, everyone. Enjoy the rest of it, and we'll see you then.